You're listening to Diminishing Returns, the podcast about sequels, prequels, spin-offs and reboots. I'm Chris Scott, and he's both a little smoky and a bandit. Sitting across from me, it's Mr. Alan Johnson, everybody.
How do pod people?
So Alan, this is another one of our bonus in-betweeny non-franchise episodes, where basically instead of talking about a particular film franchise, we talk about whatever takes our fancy. We start traditionally with the news. I, of course, have done no research, as ever, so you'll be getting my unvarnished and uncouth opinions.
Normally what happens for us, Chris, is that the day after we record, a giant trailer would normally drop, or there would be some incredible news. Against the odds, a giant news story is broken just as we go to air.
Wow.
And that's the Hollywood Reporter have written a piece about how Henry Cavill has had a fallout with Warner Brothers and he's no longer Superman.
I have a very quick question. Was the word fallout used in the headline, or did you come up with that?
That was mine.
Ah, well done, sir. Well done indeed. I mean, I don't know if I should be encouraging it, but it made me laugh.
Okay. Unconfirmed reports that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman and will not appear in anything for Warner Brothers and the larger DCEU from here on out.
Wow. I mean, that's actually a big thing, because this is the first thing that's ever gone wrong with the DCEU. Well, wait. Everything's gone wrong with it.
Well, a lot of the press regarding this story is all about how essentially DCU is in such a mess that really at this point it's not important.
Yeah, like best thing to do is just get out of here and nuke it from the air.
Especially with DC have a Supergirl project on the way, plus they're pouring all of their efforts into Wonder Woman. It's not.
You know what I like about that is that like they've sat there and like all the box office receipts and the kudos coming from Wonder Woman, and they're just like, more girl stuff.
Exactly.
Get me woman.
In the same week that Captain Marvel, details have emerged from the Marvel universe.
But and don't be wrong, obviously we've both been pretty vocal about how much we want to see more chicks and stuff, right?
Yeah, maybe not.
maybe we could have put it a bit better than that. But, you know, listen, doll faces, right? We want you to be in more films, all right, toots?
I think the official line of the show is that better representation across genders and racial divides is how we're really doing it. But yeah.
Obviously, you do want to see more like lead roles for women, you know, despite obviously all my dumb jokes earlier on. I would argue that if you can't make Superman and Batman work, that maybe if you can make the easiest superheroes in the world to get fucking right, the ones that everybody knows, that maybe going to your second tier so quickly might be a bad idea.
Well, that's the thing about Marvel. It's funny that Sony owning the X-Men and Spider-Man, forcing the Marvel cinema to plumb that second tier of heroes, has actually really worked in Marvel's benefit, because they can then they can mould what that hero is on screen, because largely the public doesn't really, you know, I like comics and I couldn't tell you anything about Hawkeye apart from he's got a bow and arrow, and in the comics he's got a terrible purple costume.
True, correct.
But on screen,
whereas now on screen you can tell them almost nothing about Hawkeye other than he's got a bow and arrow. But he's in good films.
He's married to Linda Cardinelli.
Yep,
and
that's it.
Lives in the country.
Yep, there we go. So I completely, bang, done. Like, what a fully formed real person has emerged from the screen.
Oh, we all contain multitudes.
That's right. But like Henry Cavill, big good looking boy. Yeah. But he's a big kind of cornball looking dude, you know, when he's all clean shaven and shit. Oh, and he's got that fucking mustache and it looks like a bit rough. Oh boy. That fucking Mission Impossible Fallout. Gee, see the bit where he fucking pumps his guns? Holy shit. I'm like, I've never felt that way about a human being before. And the problem in those films has never been his performance. No. It's the fact that, frankly, nobody in DC film universe understands why Superman's amazing. Yeah. They've just mishandled the character.
I mean, how could we possibly in this day and age relate to a refugee who's trying to topple a megalomaniac billionaire? I mean, it's completely unrelatable for us, isn't it?
You're right. Yep.
Just
you're right,
DCU. Hang on to there.
Yep, thank you, Alan. You've really made it clear that DC are doing the right thing there. You're right. Yeah, exactly. But also just the fact that Superman is a Boy Scout, and he's been that way, since 1930, whatever the fuck?
yeah.
80, 90 years or something? I can't do maths. What am I? Some sort of brainy person? But it's worked for all these years, and then the counterpoint to Superman is Batman. Batman's the kind kind of bitter, angsty goth. And that's cool when they team up now and again or fight each other because it's a conflicting personalities. Whereas DC, film universe, Superman is like a brooding goth Superman, and Batman's a brooding goth, slightly older Batman. So, great.
Yeah.
The only way that works is if they move to Seattle and live together like Frasier, or whatever, like Batman's the Niles to Superman's Frasier. I'm aware that Frasier and Niles did not live together. Don't fucking write it.
Wait, no, let's really shape this.
Wonder Woman is their dad. She's Marty Crane. I'd say Daphne's Aquaman.
Okay, right, Daphne's Aquaman, and then Eddie's the Flash.
Yeah.
Who's Bulldog?
Oh, yeah, Bulldog. Good point. I was going to say that Alfred the Butler, that could be Roz.
Okay.
Because she's quite spiky.
The voice of reason.
Yeah, no, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, Bulldog, good point. Write into diminishingpod@gmail.com who would be in our DCU does the Frasier universe.
My vote is John Johns, the Martian Manhunter.
Nice. So we're going to have a new Superman?
I think at this juncture, unlikely. There was
but they're going to surely going to do another Justice League and stuff like that, aren't they?
Oh yeah, such a big hit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a new person playing Superman.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Right. They just brought him back from the dead.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
I don't think we're going to get another Justice League. I don't think we're going to get
another Superman or another Superman versus Batman.
I think if we get this talked about the Batman film, Matt Reeves' Batman film, and we get Supergirl, I think they'll be doing all right. Plus, there's a Joker movie on the way with.
Is there not about 8 Joker movies getting made?
Marc Maron is in one with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix playing.
Good talk, Joker. So, I'm sorry I was an asshole to you back at the comedy store. I'm just gonna play some blues guitar for the first 10 minutes and talk about my life.
Hey, you guys want sex toys delivered to your door? And a Blue Apron box.
I had the Joker drop down to the garage.
We can all do a Maron. It takes some real talent to do what we do.
That's it. I was making fun of somebody who's way more successful at the thing we're doing. Well done. Well done, us.
Boomer lives.
But still, seriously, don't fucking play that blues guitar shit at the start of your show. Did you still do that?
I just automatically skip 15 minutes in.
I'm seeing this new woman. Things are going great. And you're like, countdown to fucking 8 episodes later. He's like, I just broke up with this girl. I want to kill myself. Anyway, if you'd like to get some lunch delivered to your... Yeah. Brilliant. So Marc Maron's in the Joker film. That's hilarious. I love it.
That's what the Joker's like an open mic. That's what happens. He shows up at an open mic spot.
Maron's
he just bombs. Yeah, Maron's a dick. The Joker bombs. He just immediately becomes a megalomaniac criminal because it's not working out for him on the Comedy Store back in the 80s. So we've written the Joker movie.
And also we've added some more repertoire to the Man of 1,000 Voices. Evidently. So who do you want to be Superman if we do get another one? That's where I was going with that about 20 minutes ago. But we got derailed into doing Marc Maron.
It's not who I want, but the first person I thought was actually Jamie Dornan. I thought he would be the guy that would get the pull for it.
Really?
Yeah.
50 Shades?
Just because physically he looks kind of similar to Cavill.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, listen, you've probably poured over those pictures more than I have. That's fine.
The weirdest thing about Henry Cavill as Superman is that his hair naturally falls in that Superman kiss carol. Yeah. And all the makers of those movies ever did was push his hair back away from his face. And now in every press photo you see, like when he's just on red carpets,
he just looks like Superman.
He looks like fucking Superman. He looks more like Superman just gadding about at the
Is there
Mission
anything
Impossible.
that is more of an example of how bad the DCEU fucking films are? Is that they had somebody naturally looks like Superman and they've spent time, money and energy to make him not like Superman.
I mean, at one
well
point,
done, everyone. Fucking clown shoes.
It's insane.
Bye Superman.
Bye Superman. Let's go with a Tom Cruise link because obviously Henry's getting rave reviews for his part in Mission Impossible Fallout. Unfortunately, Top Gun 2 has been pushed back until 2020 so that everyone involved can have more flight training.
Wait.
I mean, apparently Tom Cruise is flying the planes now.
Yeah. Like, I mean, call me crazy. As much as I like to believe in movie magic, like, I didn't think they were actually flying the fucking planes. Like, the last person you want flying a fucking plane is an actor. You do not want to be in a plane where Val Kilmer's fucking flying.
I was just thinking that, Tom Cruise is so convinced of his own amazingness now that the US Air Force are just like, sure, have this multi-million-dollar aircraft. And Tom's just like, boy.
This is how he dies.
I was thinking maybe this is going
to
be the end.
See, to be fair, killing himself for our entertainment.
It's how
I want you to go. Wow. I mean, have we discussed this? This isn't going to be any good, is it?
But as a result, Paramount look like they're going to fill the summer release slot of Top Gun 2 with A Quiet Place 2.
This time, it's quieter. Have you seen The Quiet Place yet?
I have, yes.
It's really good, isn't it?
Very good. They show too much monster, but it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear all the time whenever I send my dick to women. Too much monster. No. Even though it's quite small, they're saying it's still too much. All right, cool. While I see why they want to make a sequel, and obviously there will be loads of stories to tell, that was a kind of perfect little tense B movie, made really well. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't need to know how the invasion starts. I don't need to know how we destroy the monster. We've already got clues to both of those things inside the movie.
Cool.
So more bad ideas. Die Hard 6 title has been revealed as McClane. So they've dropped to Die Hard completely from the film title or subtitle.
They could call it whatever as long as it's good, but it won't be.
No.
So genuinely, it would take a lot to get me excited about a Die Hard film again.
Yeah.
And that's a crying shame.
Mm-hmm. Die Hard 6 is going to tell the story of like a modern day McClane, but also a rookie McClane who's just coming out of the police academy.
Wait.
Where Steve Guttenberg has revealed on Twitter that apparently there's a reboot coming.
Lovely. If they made it the Police Academy and Die Hard are in the same universe, I'm so fucking on board with that, by the way. Wow, so there's going to be a reboot of Police Academy.
Apparently so, but this is...
Tough news week, yeah?
So, an actual Predator was excised from Shane Black's recent film, Predator.
I know. I saw it. Now, I saw this because obviously it involved Shane Black.
Yeah.
Boy. I mean, because he's been in a bunch of films that are made of Shane Black's.
Yeah, and small parts in other movies.
Basically, the actress is Olivia Munn, is that her name?
Olivia Munn, yeah.
She found out that she shared this small scene with this person.
A registered sex offender.
Shane Black said that he was his mate and that he kind of got in a kind of mixed up situation, but then when the information from the court case came out, Shane Black said, oh, that's not the way it was framed to me by my friend. He's lied to me, so he'll no longer be getting work off me. The resulting furore has taken the sheen off the imminent arrival of a Shane Black film a little, and that's unfortunate. And I am very pleased and fully support Olivia Munn and what she's done. I feel bad now that she is beginning to feel a little bit isolated by the predominantly male cast who don't appear to have supported her. I think it was one guy. I saw it and I went, oh, there's at least one guy. Thanks, man. Glad somebody's fucking
stepped up,
standing up there eventually. It just seems like a rum deal all round.
Yeah.
Frankly, hard to make jokes about. So
so we'll move on to the fun,
keep it light.
The fun story of a missing person. Chinese actor Fa Bingbing, who played Blink in X-Men: Days of Future Past, is China's highest paid actor and a ubiquitous celebrity, has apparently vanished. She's not been seen in public since the 1st of July. There's two possible theories as to where she's gone. She's involved in a tax evasion scandal in China as the communist government begin to clamp down on the creative accounting that a lot of big money celebrities are involved in. They also are concerned with the distorting of social values and money worship promoted by the entertainment industry. So people think that Fa is either under control of the authorities as we speak, or she has fled to the US to seek asylum on the advice of Jackie Chan.
I mean, there's nothing to add to that fucking story. But, well, can you keep me informed on that and the listener? Because I think
I'll keep you up to date.
Whatever's happened there's a fucking story from the sounds of it. So, Chinese government are listening. We are aware that you are the new superpower and are probably going to run the world, and we are big fans. Just, we're down. Let's talk. Maybe we get some government positions. Get us at diminishingpod@gmail.com, guys. All right. What's next?
Well, the continuing Conjuring cinematic universe.
Right, hold on. I always get these mixed up, right? Is that the one that I've seen one film of and quite liked? Or is that the other one? Is that the paranormal fucking whatever?
No, this is the one that you've seen one film from. You ironically saw the prequel, which is like the
prequel to the spin-off.
Annabelle Creation is the one.
That's what it's called. Cool. Yeah. All right, good. All right, so what?
The Nun has opened to a 131 million global debut.
These films, I guess you could say these films have a habit of making money. Come on. It's pretty sweet, right? So how how much was that? Sorry, I was too busy prepping my fucking awesome joke.
131 million global debut. It opened in the US at 53.5 million opening, which beat the record previously set by
And I bet it was
The
made
Conjuring.
for like, what, 40 mil or something?
Yeah, but it brought up an interesting thing that Forbes magazine a few years ago had published a list of the most profitable horror franchises.
Right.
Would you like to hazard a guess at what?
Love guessing games. I love games. Right, hold on. So
They
it's
are-
like ever?
They have, I would say, two inside that maybe stray.
Not necessarily horror.
One strays into sci-fi more predominantly, and the other I would just say is like mainstream cinema, but certainly pretty horrific.
So profitable. Right, so the sci-fi one that comes in, is that Aliens?
Alien, yeah, the Alien franchise is the most profitable horror franchise
Right.
according to.
Of all time, but yes, profitable. So is it a percentage of return or I've got questions. Is it percentage of return or just purely
Adjusted for inflation based on domestic box office in the US. Yeah.
Okay. Halloween?
Halloween's in there, yeah.
Oh, Friday the 13th?
Yeah, way above Halloween's.
Fucking Freddy?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, certainly the first one was a massive hit. Exorcist?
The Exorcist, yeah.
Right. And when was this done? This
The Forbes list was released in 2017.
Alright, so we are gonna have some of these like paranormal activity. Is that not a huge massive fucking hit?
Number 4 on the list.
Right, okay. Do we have the Conjuring
The
stuff? as well?
Conjuring's there, yeah.
Cool.
Man, you're really ripping through this list.
I know, but now the pressure's on. So like one of them you were saying wasn't really like a horror, you thought?
Yeah.
So what would you say that film is if it's not horror? Like what would you class it as?
I wouldn't say it's an out and out horror. It's just the granddaddy of blockbusters.
Jaws?
Yeah.
Like counting Jaws as a horror film?
The Account Jaws is a horror film.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I suppose being eaten by a shark would be horrific.
Yeah.
I take your point. We have 2 left. Right, so we've kind of gone through most of the big classic hitters, haven't we? Or am I missing something classic?
Nothing. Well, depends what you mean by classic. You're missing a modern classic and a more recent franchise.
So a modern horror classic. Not Final Destination.
Well, they're just outside the top 10. Number 11 they rank. And,
Motherfuckers. Despite my best effort, well, not my best effort. I never flew to America to watch them all, so that's why they're not on the list. Blair Witch?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I got 8 out of 10. That's pretty good.
They're pretty good. Saw at number 2.
Of course, Saw. I should have got that.
And the modern classic Scream reinvented the genre.
You know, absolutely. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Saw I should have fucking remembered, man. Because that first film.
Yeah,
And I actually really did.
I recently watched Jigsaw, the sort of new one.
Terrible?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah. An exciting news roundup. Superman's gone. We played a game.
I won that game. I won that game. 8 out of 10. That's like a fucking A. Let's be very clear on that. I didn't play a game. I won a fucking game. Thank you.
Won a game.
I'm not gonna lie, it ended strong with me being amazing. But other than that, lot of bad shit. What's next up on the slate? What are we going to talk about?
Just quickly, obviously, our next franchise episode is going to cover Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yep,
and
Lady Frankenstein.
And so I was considering in my recommendations recommending Gods and Monsters, and it got me to thinking. Brendan Fraser, we've covered him recently.
We've said we hope he gets some more gigs.
Yeah,
he's got a recent TV gig, has he not?
He's got a TV show at the moment. But also, I realised that we talked about Brendan in the Journey franchise and also in the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, do you know what we need? We need a Diminishing Returns Hall of Fame. So at the moment we have 3 entrants into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Brendan Fraser, of course, in The Mummy and Journey. Tom Cruise in The Mummy and MI2.
Yeah.
And John McTiernan, who has a trilogy with us. Die Hard, Predator, and our recent Rollerball episode.
If you're an actor or director that's been in 2 films.
I was thinking the rules
2
to get in the
episodes.
house, we have to cover in detail 2 projects of yours and 50% of them have to be good.
Oh, love it.
That was what I thought because...
Nice, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's be clear though, with John McTiernan, Die Hard, Predator, great. One of those films is so bad, right? But by the rules, he's over 50%.
Yeah.
But he's got to watch himself. Like he's fucking on the bubble. Tom Cruise. We didn't like The Mummy.
Nope.
But I loved Mission Impossible 2.
Well, there's no denying the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah. And Brendan Fraser, we loved The Mummy.
Yep.
His mummy, so to speak, phrasing. But we certainly did not enjoy Johnny at the Centre of the Earth.
Absolutely not.
Despite his best effort.
Yeah. But
Cool.
I think that qualifies for entry into Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Diminishing Returns Hall of Fame. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's a very low bar. Like, basically, you have to have been in some films or made some films, and only half of the ones we talk about have to be good.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally have 2 films, One of them be shit. Tom Cruise, I'm looking at you, mummy. And you're still getting in.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
I think the bar is suitably low that we could fill this hall with real luminaries.
Deal. I like it. So we need to keep a list then.
The inaugural episode of the Hall of Fame. Is there a little jingle?
Oh, Hall of Fame. Dun, 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 dun. Hall of Fame. Dun, 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 dun. See where I'm going with that.
There we are.
Yeah.
So our first three...
David Bowie rolling in his fucking grave there. Oh, Chris, it's me. It's a ghost of David Bowie. Oh, why are you doing a terrible accent, me old son? You're doing a terrible impersonation of me. Oh, and you're doing a terrible version of my song Fame. Oh.
Well, who knows what ghostly Bowie sounds like?
Like that?
Of course.
100%.
That was the ghost of Bowie.
Oh, remember me in Labyrinth? I had a big shadow of a ding dong.
Oh, cocaine, that's a wonderful drug.
Yeah.
So yes, the inaugural event of the Hall of Fame, the first three entrants are Brendan Fraser, Tom Cruise and John McTiernan.
Brilliant. Love
Great.
it. That's our first edition of...
That's
our first edition of Hall of Fame.
Just before we move on to our favourite section, I just thought I love podcasts. Obviously, we have a podcast. And as a result...
Barely. If anything, it's done the opposite for me. I now hate podcasts, but please continue.
And do you know what I did the other night? And I was shocked at how easy it was just on my phone as I was bobbing through looking for podcasts. I rated a bunch of the podcasts I liked.
Wow, rating
Crazy.
a bunch of podcasts. I mean, does that sound like something that our dear listener listening right now could do?
I would hope so, because in connection with that, I would like to engage more listener interaction, and they can show us that they are listening and interacting by giving us a little star rating on their podcast app.
5
but
stars. Don't be cunts.
Moreover, recently one of our listeners suggested a film for us to look at, and I thought that's a great idea. So it's now on the docket for next year.
What film?
Gone in 60 Seconds. And that would allow us also to get to look at Nick Cage, which I can't believe we've been in operation for over 2 years and never looked at Nick Cage. But more importantly, that has the potential to put Angelina Jolie into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, fucking on tenterhooks.
Look at that.
I like it. Who suggested that?
Jay Stringer.
Friend of the show, Jay Stringer.
Yep.
I believe he has his own podcast.
Yes, he does. Crime Friction by the Defectives.
I think it's at Defectives Pod on
On Twitter, yeah.
So they talk about like books and nerdy shit like that. Ugh,
Yeah.
God, losers, right? Not like cool guys like me and you. I'll talk about films. We're fucking guys from the street. Oh, this fucking asshole. Oh, no, I'm a Poindexter. That's definitely how he sounds. No,
If
but
you
cool.
like that voice, you should listen to it. You should listen to that podcast.
That'd be amazing. Like when this comes out, I wonder if I could ask Jay to just do that voice for the first 5 seconds of this podcast, just in case. Good shout, because I've never seen the original, and again, caveat that I use quite a lot when we talk about films here. I remember loving the Nick Cage film.
Basically, I would like to encourage people just to get in touch with the show, because you know you can have a real impact on what we talk about here. But as a caveat to that, we've had several requests to cover the Jump Street films. But while we have talked about that, 22 Jump Street is a film that was made specifically to parody sequels, and it's a comedy, and it's hard for us to be funny about something that is funny.
Yeah, something that's successfully funny. And while we're not a bad film podcast, we would effectively, I think, just be telling people about how good the jokes were.
Yeah.
And how well executed it was. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen those 2 Jump Street films, brilliant wee comedies. Fucking big fan of both those films.
So to follow up on that, just from the correspondence we've had, we love the Jump Street films, but it's unlikely we would ever cover them.
Yeah, so basically, fucking sharpen up your ideas, you fucking pricks. Jesus Christ, the Jump Street listen, this isn't fucking How Did This Get Made or some bullshit, right? You fucking come correct when you come to Diminishing Returns. But also, please give us 5 stars. And yeah, we engage, because we do like it, despite how sometimes Daddy gets annoyed with you. At this point, should we tell people how they can get in touch?
We can.
Yeah, so you can get us at diminishingpod@gmail.com, on Twitter at diminishingpod, on Facebook we're Diminishing Returns Podcast. You can tag us there at Diminishing Returns Pod. We've got an Instagram, Diminishing Pod. We've got a blog at diminishingpod.wordpress.com, and on YouTube just search for Diminishing Returns.
Please do get in touch, guys. It helps give us more for the show.
Cool. Is it time for our favourite segment?
You know it is.
It's Trailer Talk. Bum, bum, bum. What do you want to talk about, Al?
Let's crash right in with a film that I am excited about. An unlikely franchise has built up linking two films, and that is Glass, which is going to link Unbreakable to M. Night Shyamalan's most recent film, Split.
I just watched Split last night.
And
loved it. Loved the shit out of it. We usually do recommendations at the end. Just gonna let you know right now, include this part when you're listening if I recommend anything else. Also, I'm recommending Split. It's an incredibly dumb, stupid premise, and I love it because it's made really well. M. Night Shyamalan, the last film of his that I would say I really enjoyed was Unbreakable.
Yeah, I agreed.
Right,
100%
and
agreed.
when was that? But
yeah.
He's a really artful blockbuster filmmaker. His big problem is that, of course, he likes a big, mad, revealy twist at the end.
Well, that's what I would say. Even I do not like the film The Village, but visually, that is a staggering film to see.
He's a very good filmmaker in the sense of he knows how to make a mainstream film look great and propel you along in the story. When he's writing, does it all like last 5 minutes? Oh no, we were here the whole time. Whatever. Right, okay.
What I like in his filmography is that right after he did The Sixth Sense, the next gig he got was writing Stuart Little.
Yeah, but I'm down there. So Split, when it came out, I was like, M. Night Shyamalan, whatever. And James McAvoy, obviously my enemy. He went to the same school as me. Our lives are pretty similar, He's a massively successful rich actor, and I also went to the same school as him. So it's great. I actually do quite like James McAvoy as an actor. I actually think he's a very good actor. He plays somebody with a split personality. 24 of the fuckers.
Multiple different personalities.
But so Split is a film where it's like almost a kind of insulting premise to people with psychiatric problems.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's just like, no, this is like a comic book world. You're just going to have to accept this. And by the way, McAvoy is going to act the shit out of it. Shyamalan's going to fucking film the shit out of it. And it's, as my friend said, it was like a thriller, then a horror, and then an origin story. All in the one. It's fucking brilliant. Really enjoyed it. At the end, there's a tiny wee scene that links it to the Unbreakable universe.
Yeah.
See when it happened, I was like, yes! I loved Unbreakable, man. I thought it was just a really clever, smart take on superhero film.
For my money, I think my favourite superhero film is Unbreakable.
Wow. Now, obviously, Split must have been a decent hit for Blumhouse.
A big hit, yeah.
Whose house?
Blum's house.
It was a huge hit for them. So now, we've now got this sequel, Glass, which is basically bringing Split and the Unbreakable guys all together.
Yeah.
It opens that trailer with the three main characters from these films. So you've got Bruce Willis, you've got Samuel L. Jackson, and you've got James McAvoy, all sitting in the same fucking room. Guys, the trailer could have stopped there.
The same
I'm
name
in.
as Sarah Paulson.
Oh, yeah. But literally, you could have just shown me that clip of those three of them there and went, we've got a film. It's those three characters. I'm in.
Even just the colour coding in that scene, they're in the sort of pink room. And then, of course, you've got the three colour-coded characters. Bruce Willis, who's in the green scrubs. And you've got Mr. Glass, Samuel L. Jackson, in the purple pyjamas, still in the wheelchair. And then in the middle of those two, you've got Kevin, or the Horde, as he is, James McAvoy in the middle in the yellow. Again, reverting back to really comic book techniques of telling you who everyone is.
When you watched Unbreakable, and if you've not seen this, because again, I don't know how much, if you're maybe slightly younger than us, and who isn't, how much of a film is that in the culture that people would still watch. But when you watch that, you immediately went, fuck, I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Most films you don't, as we discussed, Quiet Place, little genre thing. When that finishes, you're like, cool, I don't need to see another. I love that. Don't need to see another one.
Yeah.
You watched Unbreakable and you went, man, that'd be cool if we made another one or two of those. And now it looks like we're getting that. So I hope he pulls it off.
Yeah.
And I hope that we maybe get to a stage where Shyamalan gets the chance to continue to make big films. I would be really excited because there was a point where I thought, fuck, he could be a real deal filmmaker,
Yeah, this film looks like it's immediately going to superhero team up, or bad guy team up, as it maybe feels like in the trailer. And that's a really interesting direction to take. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
I'm sorry that wasn't as funny as usual, guys, but I'm genuinely just quite excited about this.
So a film that I'm not sure I really needed is Creed 2.
Particularly when that first Creed, I think we've mentioned it before, is a perfect capper to, not only is it its own film that you can watch and just enjoy, but it also works as a capper and end to the Rocky series.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a perfect end to that. Great performance from Stallone, and he gets to kind of bury some of the ghosts of his past by helping Apollo Creed's son, who's called Creed.
Adonis Creed. He's the literal Creed 2 of the title.
Little Creed. But so now, obviously, they have back, and Stallone's back. So straight away, well, I guess that wasn't the end to the Rocky story.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the reveal at the end of the trailer, which has been heavily publicised, is that he's fighting the son of Ivan Drago from Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Now listen,
break you.
if he dies, he dies. Now listen, we've all had Hearts on Fire, Stone Desire, right? But Sometimes you just got to take it to the limit, right? But what I'm trying to say here is now it's little Creed versus little Drago. Now I know they're not children in this film, but it's kind of like the Muppet Babies or young Sherlock Holmes now, where it's just like, guys, I don't fucking need this. And so like, what's going to happen next? Are we going to have like little Mr. T in the next film? Are we going to have like the son of the robot butler?
Polly's illegitimate children that were all over Philadelphia.
I mean, this will be acted well. Fucking Michael B. Jordan's fucking awesome. But just, we've buried the ghosts, and now it's like, let's dig up some more ghosts to bury again. And it's but equally so, listen, capitalism, fucking Creed made a lot of money. Yeah. And, like everyone's getting a boatload of fucking dough.
My real hope for it is actually that
it's about that sort of shitty metal band.
Oh, wow. Arms wide open.
I couldn't tell you what the song's good, Phil.
My hope for it is that, to use a boxing term, that it's a rope-a-dope, that actually the Drago thing happens in the middle of the film and the actual like big fight is with another.
It's against Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Mecha Drago.
Exactly. Yeah, so as much as I like Creed, I'm not hugely thrilled about Creed 2, but you never know.
Yep, I mean, I wouldn't have thought Creed would have been as good as it was. Yeah. I agree. I'm in a sort of thumbs down in concept alone.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, we're ramping into the Halloween season, so there is a Goosebumps sequel, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween.
Yeah, it's about time somebody made Halloween scary. Instead of being so stupidly sexy all the time. Oh, my sexy zombie. Oh, zombies are sexy. Wait, what? Did I shut up? You said that.
Of course, you have not seen Goosebumps the movie, but you are, of course, aware of Goosebumps, the series of books.
For like kind of 10-year-olds and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good way to get kids interested in spooky stuff because it's sort of like safe.
It's not like Hostel.
Yeah,
it's like you let your 10-year-old watch Hostel and there's so many fucking questions. All right. Stop fucking crying. Jesus. This is why my child was taken away from me in custody. I don't have kids. Come on, guys. Goosebumps 2.
Yeah, so having kids, I've seen Goosebumps. And
how, was it any good?
It was.
That sounds like a no.
It was fine.
Yeah,
fine.
It's a kids movie.
Not particularly memorable. I don't particularly like how it dealt with a lot of the monsters that R.L. Stine created for the books.
So this guy, Right Left Stein, he's quite a big deal in the sort of young adult novels, I guess. He's written all these books, but there's like
62
but
books.
There's, I was going to say there's loads of them.
I think in excess of 400 million units worldwide. Like, I mean, crazy numbers.
Cha-ching!
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that.
Now, in the first film, Jack Black played the character of R.L. Stine. More importantly, Jack Black also voiced Slappy, the ventriloquist dummy, in the first film.
Oh.
But Jack Black is out completely.
Who's fake Jack Black, the voice of this dummy?
I read the name, I don't even know.
So it's not even like a famous person?
No. Anyway, so yeah, Jack Black's out. The cast in this, the sort of biggest stars are Ken Jeong's in it, but I don't know what kind of role.
Yeah, he wasn't in the trailer,
and
was he?
Jeremy Ray Taylor, who played Ben in last year's It.
So yeah, filled with stars there then, huh?
Yeah, it looks like a basic retread of film, but also looks much cheaper. There's obviously been a bit of money put into making the monsters look better, but the cast, as a result, I think have suffered. But Jack Black, been in the news, wanting a Nacho Libre sequel. I can't help thinking that he's now not in Goosebumps 2 because he's so anxious to get a Nacho Libre sequel on the go.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Nacho Libre?
Yeah.
Now, would you be desperate to watch a sequel of that?
I wasn't.
Never mind fucking go to the effort of making one.
I wasn't even excited to get to the end of that film.
Correct, Amando, I agree.
Boy, oh boy. So yeah, Jack Black. Also, he's in a film that's coming out at the moment called The Clocks in the Wall, or The House with Clocks in the Walls.
I saw a trailer for that.
Which
Christ,
looks, when I saw that, last time I was in the cinema, I saw the trailer for that. I thought that was a trailer for Goosebumps 2. That's how similar they look.
Yeah, but also, like, if you're making a film, don't call it The House with Clocks on the Walls. What the fuck?
It's based on a
book with also a terrible title. Well, that doesn't make it fucking better, Alan.
Yeah, they probably talk about that on The Defectorist.
Yeah, you fucking book nerds. You fucking, my book's called The fucking House with Hangs. You fucking, what the fuck? It's a film. It should be called something
the
like
Windows with Glass in.
It should be called something like fucking Devil House or something. What? Honestly, I was watching that trailer. I was like, man, this looks shit. And then it came up with a fucking title, and I bust out laughing. I was like, really? Really, Hollywood? Was it a bank holiday weekend that week? And you're like, Thursday 4:30, fuck this noise. Just call it the house with clocks on the wall. Arseholes. I'm thumbs down for that title. I'm thumbs down for books, which is we've already pointed out, for fucking Poindexters. Yeah, I'm out for Goosebumps too, because frankly it's a kid's film.
Yeah, so I think let's finish strong, Chris, because I know you're going to want to see this next movie. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
Yeah, Nutcracker and the Four Realms, which from the start looks like, when they start describing it, I think is a ballet version of Jet Li's The One. Because there's all about there's different universes and shit, right? But in no way lives up to what they're saying there, right?
I would love a ballet version of any of Jet Li's output.
Particularly one with a multiverse. Or as Jason Statham says in the film in his American accent, a multiverse. Oh boy. So listen, Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
Yeah.
Now, already I have a problem with this film, right?
Oh, where to begin?
Yeah, I mean, don't be wrong. It seems like a terrible, weird idea. Basically, this isn't your mama's ballet. Right? Do you know what I mean? This is an extreme.
My criticism of this trailer stems back to 1816 when E.T.A. Hoffman, or Estimated Time of Arrival Hoffman,
Yep. Love it.
wrote his
When's he
children's
gonna be here?
book.
Nobody knows.
Wrote his book Nutcracker and the Mouse King, which Tchaikovsky later turned into a 2-act ballet in 1890. His ballet was based upon, of course, the adaptation by Alexander Dumas.
Oh, so it was a book before it was a ballet.
It was a book before it was a ballet.
We've already told people how we feel about books. And by the way, I'm going to say ballets are worse.
It looks like what's happened here is some idiot at Disney has taken this beloved ballet and children's story and tried to hire Tim Burton, who clearly wasn't available, and they've said to Lasse Hallström, can you please turn Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite into Alice in Wonderland and the Four Realms? Yeah. Because this looks like this knockoff Tim Burton gothy. They've taken the dream of a young girl and her favourite toy who travels to a distant candy-filled kingdom and turned it into a war movie between an army of mice, an evil Helen Mirren, and I don't even...
Helen Mirren's character's called Mother Ginger.
Mother Ginger, who I should connect with.
Which sounds like the most Scottish thing in the world. Oh, Mother Ginger, can I get some iron brew, please?
Yeah. So Lasse Hallström has gone from making My Life as a Dog and salmon fishing in the Yemen to Nutcracker and the Four Realms. And just while we're here, have we all just forgiven Morgan Freeman after his allegations?
Particularly films that have the word nuts in it, which is like a sexual thing.
Oh, wow. Four Realms of the Senses. Hey, did you know that Lasse
Well, Andy. Nope. I can basically only do those 2 words. No, right. So I hear what you're saying about all that. Sounds fully executed. Idea of translating this beloved property into something it's not. Just taking the style of somebody else, which also hasn't been that successful recently.
No.
Let's be clear.
No. Although those Alice in Wonderland films have made shed loads of money.
Really? People, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. At some point, she, has a magical key bullshit, right?
Right.
She fucking unlocks some door or wardrobe or I don't fucking know. And then she comes into this fucking magical land. And she's like, where am I? And this magical fucking dude's like, oh, you're in the Four Realms. What? She's in all 4 of them at the one time. Is that like that
it's like
one?
When you go to Istanbul and you can be in Asia and Europe.
Asia and Europe. That's
time.
what it, or that bit where there's like 3 states or something in America that all meet at once. Like if she moves one, it's like, oh, now you're in 3 realms. Oh, now you're in 2. Hey, you can't be in 4 fucking realms at once, you cow. Right? In fact,
it's not her fault.
What? It's not her fault.
Nutcracker.
It's the fucking magical dude. Whoever is that? The Nutcracker.
That's the Nutcracker.
I don't understand the concept. I've never fucking seen. So the Nutcracker. So
the Nutcracker.
This prick cracks nuts, right? And is trying to tell her about geography when he's got fucking shit wrong. Arsehole.
I can only tell you what I know of the ballet, which is she on
so
Christmas.
That I don't know anything about it, and that you are about to describe to me a ballet. Fucking rock on, man.
In the ballet, she is gifted on Christmas Eve a Nutcracker doll. So it's a toy.
wait, hold on.
So it's like a wooden doll painted
cracks,
as a soldier, but it's
because that's what they would get like at Christmas because they were poor in olden times.
No, that's a rich person's gift back in the olden times.
Right.
And her brother is jealous because he was given a soft toy mouse, and the mouse comes alive and becomes like an evil mouse king. And
right.
But the Nutcracker comes to life as a soldier, and then so the mice army fight
PTSD. Like, you weren't fucking there, man. And I fucking cracked that. I killed 8 toys. There's the fucking ears around my neck, man. You know, I think I've got a kid back in Saigon.
So the Nutcracker leads an army of toy soldiers against the Mouse King's army.
Right.
And then after that, the Nutcracker is revealed to be a magical prince, and he whisks the girl off to the Candyland. So the Nutcracker is in our world as a toy.
But in Candyland is a king.
Is a prince.
Candyland. Oh, a prince. Oh, I'm sorry.
And that's obviously where they meet the sugar plum fairy and all that jazz.
Right.
Yeah.
So people always talk about like ballet and stuff being better than films, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a bunch of bullshit, right? Have you seen fucking Predator or RoboCop? None of this fucking nonsense there. Oh, we're going to Candyland. Motherfuckers. Fuck, I'm glad I've never seen a ballet.
What a dearth of trailers available to us.
Oh wait, hold on. We haven't actually given our rating on Nutcracker on the 4 fucking
we
tops.
Haven't been clear.
Right, so you're out for this?
For the Nutcracker and the 4 tops from the director of ABBA the movie.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out as well.
Yeah.
I'm out as well. I'm also out for ballet as a concept. Books. I'm out for magical toys. It just seems a bit fucking creepy.
Visits to Candyland.
Like, oh, so here's the thing. This fucking shit, this toy you give your daughter, turns into like a dude who whisks her away to a place called Candyland. Creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stand for that sort of shit. Wow. So basically, we're in for the Shyamalaniverse.
Yeah, excited about Glass.
Brilliant. Fuck everything else, right?
Yeah.
That was Trailer Talk. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, would you like to round out with a little recommendation, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Split was great. I enjoyed that. If you haven't seen Unbreakable, you should see Unbreakable.
Oh, as you rose up there, was a hint of the Cavill about you. I think we could get you in as Superman.
Listen, man.
You've got the glasses.
People have called me Clark Kent before, but that might have been rhyming slang. Like, oh, boy, Superman's let himself fucking go. It's like, he's been flying everywhere. I've not had to walk anywhere for 10 years. I've turned into a fat bastard. Yeah, my what do you call it? What is he? This stuff that makes him weak.
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Jesus Christ, man.
Is remembering.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's like fucking my kryptonite is fatty food, I was going to say, but that was a long walk for nothing. Which, ironically, because I'm making jokes about how I don't walk everywhere, which I actually do. I enjoy a good walk, but it's usually tip up. Yeah, so I watched Split, enjoyed that. I watched, is it Annihilation it's called?
Yes.
I don't know if I could recommend it. I don't worked well, but I liked that it really tried for something a bit different.
Well, do you know, I've already, we're late in the year, I've already been working on my top 10, which we'll reveal at Christmas
but
time.
You think that's a contender?
It's on the periphery.
Annihilation, I think a lot of people will really like it. I just thought it didn't quite nail it, but I enjoyed that it tried for stuff. And I like the cut of that guy's jib, the guy
Garland. Yeah.
What about yourself?
Well, I'm also going to refer to something I've spoken about previously in the show, Gods and Monsters, with Brendan Fraser and Ian McKellen, which tells a sort of like fictionalized tale of the last years of the director of Frankenstein, James Whale's life. And Brendan Fraser's brilliant in it. It's a really great film, and I was thinking a lot about it in relation to us talking about Frankenstein in the next episode. But a film that I watched this week which really blew me away is called The Endless, and it's about 2 brothers who have escaped from a UFO suicide cult and decide to return to that cult to sort of get some closure for certain things in their life, and it becomes this weird sci-fi horror story. Tiny indie movie shot on a really tight budget, but it just shows you if you've got a strong idea and a good cast that it becomes so much bigger.
The Endless
It's called, yeah. Really, really great film.
Recently had the death of a certain film icon that I referenced at the start of this.
Yeah.
Star of Smokey and the Bandit, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Deliverance. If you've not seen Deliverance, what a fucking film. You will have heard, obviously, the kind of big moment in it, but it doesn't prepare you for how good that film is. It is an absolute masterpiece.
It's a really interesting look at toxic masculinity, especially Burt Reynolds is the epiphany of like toxic masculinity. It's great.
Now, does Smokey and the Bandit still hold up? I haven't seen it since the 80s.
I have not seen those films in a long time, but a couple in that. Burt Reynolds and Sally Field.
Brilliant. So, the Deliverance, and I guess the other sort of Stone Cold classic you would say was in
Boogie Nights.
Alan, we've already discussed it. Our next pair of films
is, of course, Frankenstein from 1931 and Bride of Frankenstein from 1935. Man, we at this rate are going to be like proper film critics.
I'd wait to hear what I say on the episode, frankly, Alan. I don't think you need to, I don't want when you get your fucking hopes up, pal. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Sometimes I flirt with doing a Boris Karloff voice, but I
Working it
realised
for next time.
I realised that I tend to stray more into Frankie from the Groovy Ghoulies than Boris
the Groovy
Karloff.
Ghoulies. I love the Groovy Ghoulies.
We belong dead.
Great stuff. So we'll be back with our Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein episode. Please rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. Please tell your friends about the show. Give them a link to the exact show. Except no substitutes. Don't read books. Books are lame. Films are awesome. We're awesome. Thank you. Diminishing Returns. What the fuck, Nix? The Diminishing Return fucking nuts. We've been sponsored by nobody. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, guys. I would like to reiterate, if you have seen Fa Bing Bing, please get in touch with the show.
Yeah, can you let us know? Don't let the authorities know. Let us know. First, we want to break this news. Yeah.